Hey everybody, and welcome to another JASP video. Cool news, everyone. Yes, new JASP. Of course, you saw on the thumbnail of the video, new JASP version just dropped. This is a quick overview video, and then I'm going to probably have a few smaller videos showcasing various new aspects that are, I think, important to me. There's going to be some new stuff that I don't really know about, so you probably won't find videos on this channel about them. Unfortunately, I don't know everything in stats, but let's talk about it. So I'm running this video on my new laptop, which is a MacBook Pro. And so it's got an Apple Silicon chip. And you can see here that we've got JASP 0.17 open, Apple Silicon. Okay, so it is live. And let's just jump over to the screen here. So it just came out like 3 days ago. So if you haven't seen the news, if you're not following JASP development as much as I am, well, here you go. So I'm on the release notes page, and let's talk about some of the things that are new in this. And I'll show a few things in this video before I do separate videos for everything else. So first and foremost, we've got a new syntax mode. This has been a long time coming because Jamovi has had a syntax mode in it for, I think, about a year now. And so it's really important that JASP here has caught up to that. Definitely going to have a video on improved keyboard navigation using the Alt key, although if you are on a Mac machine, it'll be Option for you. Okay. There's a complete new module called acceptance sampling. I haven't taken a look at that. I don't know what it entails. I don't know if there's going to be a video about it. Changes to the SEM. So it'll now do partial least squares SEM, which is great for all of you path analysis fiends. T-size, RMSCA, and CFI. So T-size adjusted values there, which is important for SEM. Network module has a new analysis, Bayesian network analysis. I don't know too much about that, so there won't be a video there. A new Bayesian penalized meta-analysis, a lot of new functionality to JAGs. I might do an update on the regression, specifically for the logistic regression video that I have. That, of course, is about 2 years old now, but you can now do multinomial, ordinal, or Firth logistic regression. So nothing has changed in the GLM module for regression. Nothing has changed there. Descriptives added confidence intervals for mean, standard deviation, and variance. I'm going to talk about that in this video. There won't be a separate video for that one. Distributions have added confidence intervals to the QQ plots and PP plots. The profit module has now got a optional prediction. Okay. Engines on R library separation behavior improved. Of course, that's always great. Improved preference help file. So for how to set up your preferences. Module selection in R Commander. So if you've got R Commander, you can use the modules. Those are the things like regression, descriptives, distributions, etc. And then here's another one that's great, which I'll probably showcase in this video as well. All plots can be now saved as a PowerPoint, PDF, or .eps. And then added documentation for Snowflake Warehouse, or how to connect to Snowflake Warehouse. So let's talk about some of the things that I said that we will do. Oops, let's get JASP open here. Okay, so just very quickly, I'm hitting my option key. I'm given a choice now between O, M1 through M7, and I'm assuming that these M's here, as it disappears because I hit Control, refer to the sequence of hitting, but I don't have a data set open, so I will have to see, and then I for adding a module, and then O for opening the menu screen, so A, B, A through I. So if I wanted to open the About section there, look at that. Okay, and then of course you can hit, I believe, Escape to close that. So I just navigated that whole thing with just my keyboard. Expect another video on this coming up on the channel soon. Now let's open up some data so I can go through the new descriptives and the syntax modules. So let's open up the descriptives for just sleep, and let's open this up here. So if I get Alt and then I hit M3, nope, that didn't work. Option M3. Yes, you have to hit them like at the right, just at the same time, literally at the same time. All right, moving on though. So let's go to descriptives. Okay, so as you can see, it opens up a little bit, and let's take a double check on what the change was again. So added confidence intervals for mean, standard deviation, and variance. So let's grab extra and put that in there, and let's grab statistics, and let's grab our mean, standard deviation, and variance. Okay. And then let's get our confidence intervals. So here we have the standard error of the mean. They're under this inference tag. So take a look at that. This is standard error of the mean has always been there, but we can get confidence intervals. And oh, this is great. You can put whatever width you want in there, and you can change the kind of modeling that's done, either a normal model or doing a bootstrap. So if we click on bootstrap, it'll probably run. Oh, there we go. Yeah. By default, it's set at 1,000 bootstraps. So we can do that. That's for the mean though. But for standard deviation and variance, you end up with just being able to change the width. So 90%, 99%, generally speaking. So let's see, 95% of the CI of the mean. Well, let's see, the mean was 4.451, and so upper 2.4 and lower. Oh, that was the standard error of the mean. I'm sorry. That mean was 1.54, upper bound 2.4, and lower bound 0.65. So if we change this to 99, Okay, let's see what happens. We get a slightly larger confidence interval there. And you can see it only changed my mean CI and not my standard deviation or variance CI. I love it. So 2.7 or 0.37, excuse me. And then we can change that back to 95 and get back our original values. And so that's the descriptive change. Okay, as we already mentioned here. So if I want to get the BAF, so BAF, oh man, really hard. It is really hard. BAF. I don't know what that did. Okay. Note that. But here's the other new thing. So you've got the syntax mode. Well, this is going to be the R syntax, right? So I hover over it and it says show R syntax there in the tooltip. So click on that and it gives us this. And so we could change this. So if you know code, you can put that in here. You can actually type in there, right? So version, this must be the version of JASP here. So let's change this to false. And then we hit Command Enter to apply. And we don't have it anymore. It's gone. Okay, so you can do that, and we can do show all options just to make sure that our box plot stuff, like down here. So of course there are defaults that are already there. So here we have, let's see, for example, let me scroll up here. So box plot jitter, we have false palette, false, false. Although it says box plot box true, and I actually don't have it selected. See, I don't have it selected, so I'm not entirely sure why it does that. Customizable plots I already talked about in, and then we have tables. Frequency tables are stem and leaf. So that's a huge one there. So that's your R console. That's the syntax mode that they're talking about here, right here. Okay, so a little R button for you right there, and that'll be in all of the oh yeah, let's do independent samples. So if we do our syntax for this, t-test independent samples, formula null. So we're gonna put group down here and watch it over here, and so we are GLM regressing on extra with a grouping variable there, and there we go. So and we can do show all options as well and get all of this and determine whether or not we want all of that stuff in ours. And then, of course, you can duplicate this analysis. You can edit the title of this analysis, and you can show the help. Went off on the other screen. You can show the help. Oops, get my thing out of there. Yeah, you can show the help screen for this as well. Oh, there isn't. Wait, why wouldn't there be scrolling on this? There we go. It wasn't scrolling. There we go. Yeah, so it has all of the descriptions. This, I think, is what makes JASP super strong when it comes to learning tool, because we can go in and we can see what each one does. This is, I think Jamovi needs to work on their help files. But this is, so that's the R console or syntax mode as we want it. And then what was the other thing that I was going to show? Oh, distributions. That's right. So if we go up here and modules menu, we hit the plus key. We can go ahead and get our distributions. There we are. It's in alphabetical order. So then we go over here, and now you can get. Let's go with normal here. Here we have our QQ plots and our PP plots. I'm 12 years old. I'm sorry. Our PP plots. QQ and PP. Honestly, they had to know that's what was going to happen when they decided that this is the name of the plot. Okay, so this is how you would assess fit, right? So not only is the distributions module comprehensive for learning all of this, but you can get a sense of what the code looks like by looking at this, right? Because I have QQ plot and PP plot, PP plot in here already, so I could do that. But this will go ahead and allow us to take a look at what our data is, whether it's normal or not, and then we can go through and see whether or not the variance is good and whether or not it's normally distributed by looking at plots and looking at their confidence intervals. Same thing with the PP plots. Wonderful. I don't have any data in here because I have to grab this. Okay, so here we go. Here's the QQ plot with its 95% confidence interval represented with the blue shaded area. Oh, that's it's very dark. Contrast is fine, I suppose. And then our PP plots here, are they with, we kind of look at the theoretical oval and see whether or not they're in there. Let's see, scale. Yeah, theoretical versus the sample versus the theoretical versus the sample over here. Not bad. Yes, so I mean, this particular extra data set is fairly normal. So we could go into more ideas with that, but I just wanted to showcase that really quickly. The plots look really nice. And then the final thing is, since we have this open right now, since we have plots open, I wonder if I can make this a little bit smaller. Oh, and then that makes this have to scroll. Oh, never mind. I don't like that. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah. What are you going to do? Okay, so we know that we can make these bigger, and then it will adjust how it looks. But now we can save as, oh, I got to click on the down here. Save image as, we can edit the image, we can how these four things have existed since they've added edit image. But now we can save image as, we can go in here, we can open this a little bit bigger. So before you could save it as a PNG, a TIFF, or an SVG, but now you have PDF, so right into a PDF, an encapsulated PostScript for color correction, that kind of thing. Really massive amounts of editing if you want to do this in like Photoshop, and then a PowerPoint. So I'm going to save it to my, let's see, let's just go to desktop. I don't have anything there. Let's call this test. I mean, it's a QQ plot, but whatever. Let's save that. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it off screen, and it's going to open up PowerPoint, and there it is. There it is on PowerPoint. Look at it. And so it's an image. It's an image file, but you can draw on it. It's got this grid in the background. There it is. And you can resize this to keep it scalable. Although that looks awful. But there are elements in here. Can you believe that? Look at that. Can make this bigger. It's all of these, like they're all individual lines. So you can, I know I'm destroying this QQ plot, but that's all right. You can change this. Although, so you can format the shape by double clicking on it. It does not get red like a plot that you make in Excel, for example. So you can't edit this scale, but you can at least change the font, maybe change the thickness. I don't know. Whatever people want to do, right? Just know what you're clicking on for sure. But let's see. Can I get, let me delete that. Oh, there you go. That's how you get rid of the grid. All right. I know I moved this line out of the way, but whew, holy smokes. Holy smokes. All right. So I can move that back up. Although it's now the wrong size. Good times. That's because I made poor choices with this, didn't I? I did. I made very poor choices. All right. Well, you can see how that works. I'm going to move this out of here now. All right. So those are the ones. Those are the changes that I wanted to highlight in this new features. Just a couple of things. Yeah. Stay tuned for the next ones. Deep dives into keyboard navigation in text mode, and I don't think I'm going to do a plots can be saved as a PPTX, PDF for EPS. I think you get the gist on that one. So yeah. And then they did some bug fixes. If you have any, you can click on these bug fixes, and that is JASP 0.17. Oh, I'm so excited. They have keyboard navigation now. Please leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. Don't forget your questions. Thank you for watching this video on JASP. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.